Hello and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Adam's Music Box, where it was on this day in 1962 that the world got its first glimpse, or you can't really glimpse sound, can you? But we'll just move on. They got the first auditory injection of one of the most important, prolific, and best bands of all time, because it was on this day that Surfin' Safari, the first LP by the Beach Boys, came out, and it was a hit. The Beach Boys were running on all cylinders, as you can see behind me, from their very earliest days. They had the format, if you will, their unique sound really nailed down. The wonderful harmonies, the surprisingly interesting and sophisticated chord changes in deceptively simple songs, the incredible catchy hooks, and the idea of lifestyle music. Because certainly in their early days, but to an extent throughout their career, the idea of the beach life and of relaxation and of fun were always an implicit part of the music, and people couldn't get enough of it. The harmonies, the chord changes, the hooks, the lyrics, it all just resonated with audiences, not just in the Beach Boys' native Southern California, but around the world. Now, this year we've talked about the Beach Boys even more than usual because the man who was in many ways, in most ways, the key element of the band, Brian Wilson, sadly died. His personal struggles are relatively well known, but I think that it's always good to reflect on the fact that in 1962, like for any band, fame and popularity were not guaranteed, but they were a hard-working band. Some would say that the father of the boys, Murray Wilson, the father of the Wilson brothers, was a bit too much of a disciplinarian. We've talked about that before. But the musicians themselves, the Beach Boys themselves, they really were hardworking and they were driven. They loved music, and the world loved their music. Now, people will say that the band got increasingly sophisticated musically as they moved on, and yes, that is true. But the other interesting sort of epilogue to that is the space and time between 1962 and the release of Pet Sounds, just a few years later. It's miraculously short. They, from teens into their early 20s, moved mountains, so to speak, musically. But even from the very beginning, like I said, those great core elements that the world came to know and love were there. So here's again to the Beach Boys. It might be October now, but it's always a good season for a surf safari. As always, like, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Take care.